Niantic, you beautiful bastards, allowing me to cover this before I go on my work trip. So we got the season turnover. Delightful days starting on June 3rd. Everything resets as we know. Let's look at it. This is the first time looking at it, so this is going to be live reaction. Go Battle League, Delightful Days schedule. Okay, Sunshine Cup. So, okay. Right off the bat, they're not doing anything new. You can just see, if you've played this long enough, you can kind of just see the repeats here. So Great League and Sunshine Cup. Sunshine Cup's a repeat. Ultra League Fossil Cup. Fossil Cup's a repeat. Summer Cup, repeat. But you know what? At least it's 1-1-1, right? At least it's not, they're not doubling up Fossil Cup like the 10th to 17th and then the 17th to 24th. At least they're giving us a different one. Although, sorry, I just noticed that that 17th to 24th is an Ultra League Summer Cup. So third week of the season, no Great League option. Last season we had a Great League option every single time, but this time Summer Cup Ultra League edition. Great League, and then Great League Little Cup, Ultra League, Great League, Hisui Cup, Master League, Great League with Sunshine Cup, Great League Fossil Cup. Did we already just do Fossil Cup back up here? Yep, so Fossil Cup repeating later in the season. Ultra League and Summer Cup, Ultra League. Okay, so are we just repeating What is happening? What is happening, Niantic? I talk about them not being creative. We have Fossil Cup Great League on the second week. Summer Cup on the third week. This is another Fossil Cup on the 29th of August 5th. Another Summer Cup on the 5th to 12th. And it's okay. So at least there's some doubles up here. Anyways. Unfortunately, there are some double ups, but Go Battle weekend, so not even a Go Battle week like we had this time, just only a weekend, August 15th to 17th, 100, yada, yada, yada. Yes, here is the pose. Little, what is that? Like it's Leon style pose. Is he like a conductor type thing or something? Cups. Okay, so Sunshine Cup is normal fire, grass, and ground. If we're going to have that a couple times. Fossil Cup is water, rock, steel, right where water dominates, right? So unfortunately, it looks like not much has changed in terms of leagues. So let's get into the heart of this. Let's get into the move set. Let's get into what's going on. I'll give you the first analysis, and then I'll shoot like 3 videos today to have out for this week. Ember, energy generation increased. So Ember is actually, let me open up one more. Ember is a fast move that is used on a few Pokemon. We'll open them up here. So Ember is used on has options for Go, but Ninetales was the one that back in the day, Fire Spin versus Ember was an option. So Ember, as you can see, you're 3.5 damage per turn, but only 3 energy per turn. So if you are now increasing the energy you generate, you're now moving it up to like a 3.5 and 3.5 move, or 3.33 move, which that obviously improves all those fire Pokemon, which is nice. Yes, we called it. Oh, we didn't call it because my video was supposed to come out this afternoon. There was only a few things that needed buffing, and Bug was one of them. Bug Bite and Fury Cutter, and these are 2. Unfortunately, my video this afternoon is going to have to get canceled, but these are 2 that I actually talked about in my video this afternoon. Bug Bite and Fury Cutter both needed power boosts, and they got it, and I'll show you why right here. So if you go to Bug Bite, it was a 3 and 3, and Fury Cutter was a 2 and 4. And Fury Cutter was the obvious one of how it was so underpowered compared to some of these other moves. So you have like 4 energy turn moves, and then you have you had Infestation at 2-4, you have Fury Cutter at 2-4, and then you had other Pokemon, other 4.5 turn charging moves at 2 energy, right? So you had the Poison Sting at 4.5 and 2, you had Thundershock at 4.5 and 2, and then you've got the really broken ones like Fairy Wind at 4.5 and 2 at Fairy Wind, 4.5 and 2.5 at Cry Chop, and then you had this kind of 4 and 2 Fury Cutter, which is okay, like it kind of mirrored Mud Shot, and so all those moves that got nerfed. And I basically said, like, you have an option here. You can either, you have the 4.5 and 2 moves up here that you can just kind of keep the same. You have your 4s and 2s down here, which are Fairy Cutter, Infestation, Mud Shot, and then you have some 2.5s and 4s, right? So you have Powder Snow and then Quick Attack, and then you even got the sort of way better ones in like Shadow Claw. So Bug was already in that sort of like lower end here. And with all the Psychic Pokemon out now, buffing Bug Attack and buffing Fury Cutter is a must. So Bug type Pokemon are obviously going to be on the rise here, which is great because there was a lot of... Because Bug will do a couple things. It'll hit super effective against Psychic, and it will resist Ground. So here's your Pokemon with Fury Cutter. So all these will probably get a thing. Maybe Gligar comes back with running Fury Cutter. And Bug Bite should be like... Airquinid is the first one that came to my mind. So maybe we get some more bulky Airquinid. A little more buff on the bugs. So like that. Energy generation increased on Acid. Acid what is a charge? No, Acid is a fast move. 3 energy, 2.5, 3 damage, 2.5 energy. So it's a pretty bad move. So if you're increasing your energy, nice. We'll have to see if it just increases by like to 3 and 3. I don't think that it's going to change too much of the meta. And a lot of these other Pokemon just probably already have better fast moves like Clodsire with Poison Sting, Mudshot, Quagsire, Bullet Seed, Cradilly. Like these are already moves you want to use ahead of Acid. Bullet Punch, power from 6 to 8, and they did it. Oh, I wish that you guys could see the video that I made this afternoon that I have to cancel it because I said 3 things need to be buff. I said buff everything that the typings do not transfer over to the Great League. So, or like the GBL. So you have like Water's overpowered, and Ghost is overpowered, and Dark is overpowered, and then like you have Bug and Fire and Steel that are just like so bad because they don't and Electric is another one I said that just don't transfer over for the main series game. So I said you need to buff all of them, and here we are: buff to Bug Bite, buff to Fury Cutter, buff to Bullet Punch, buff to Metal Sound, buff to Double Iron Bash, buff to Doom Desire. Huge Steel buffs across the board. So now we so let's just look up all your Steels to see if any of them are running it. Iron Head was not one of these. No, Metal Sound, Bullet Punch, and Double Iron Bash is Melmetal, and then Doom Desire. It's kind of neat. And 5 power is not huge, but this power on Metal Sound will make it almost a clone of Fairy Wind, I think. We'll look at that in a second, and then Bullet Punch. So Bullet Punch going from 6 to 8 really allows... like you're now probably around, you're at 4 damage per turn and 3.5 energy per turn. So 4 damage and 3.5 energy puts you at the same. Where's your 4 and 3.5 energy? You don't even have Sucker Punch. 4 damage and 3.5 energy on Bullet Punch now makes this a Sucker Punch clone. So your Bullet Punch users are now going to turn into a pretty strong... But what has Bullet Punch here? Metagross. Shadow Scissor is one for sure because I use Shadow Scissor with Bullet Punch all the time in limited leagues. And so when you get a Shadow Scissor with Bullet Punch now buffed to a Sucker Punch with like spammy moves, like this could be a very, very deadly Pokemon in certain metas. So Scissor seems like one that's going up there. And Metal Sound, power from 3 to 5. So Metal Sound was a very, very fast charging fast move, but it had, as you can see here, terrible damage at 1.5. So now you move this up to 5. That makes it about 2.5. 2.5, maybe 3 and 4 here. So 2.5 and 4. So now you're up to where Quick Attack is. You're somewhere between Quick Attack and Shadow Claw. So a huge improvement for Metal Sound users. Obviously a pretty fast charging fast move anyways. So just buffing up these Steels. Bronzong maybe comes out. You use Metal Sound on Bronzong now to charge faster. And then you're getting to, Psyshock's in 10 here. And maybe Bulldozer's a bad move now. Payback in 16. So you could have some coverage. So it could be kind of interesting. So there'll be some unique Pokemon like that get it. Crunch, chance to lower the opponent's defense is decreased. So the main one that comes up to mind here is Drapion. Drapion's not going to be able to lower your your defense as much. Guaranteed chance to decrease the opposing Pokemon's defense. Wrap is not a good move anyways. So Wrap is a 45 for 60, which is 1.33. So even if you guarantee a chance to decrease the opposing opponent. So even if you, so 1.33 to lower your opponent's attack, I don't think, unless you have like something extremely spammy. But yeah, it's basically on like Dragonair, which is kind of slower on the charge anyways with the Dragon Breath, because that's more damage. And then yeah, Vine Whip users, poisons. I don't think Wrap is going to have an impact too much. Parabolic Charge, energy cost decreased and guaranteed chance to increase the user's defense. So another electric move buff, and they did it. They did what they needed to do. So Dedenne, trying to make Dedenne relevant again. Maybe Dedenne gets a little bit of buff here with that electric fairy typing, but still a lot of ground in this meta. We'll look at the... So they did not touch... interesting, because people in the comments said they need to nerf Rock Tomb, which they did not. And people said Mud Slap. I actually pushed back on Mud Slap because it is, I think, balanced enough. But Rock Tomb not. So Goldango gets Power Gem. Whenever we see a Shadow Claw, we need to look it up. Lunala gets Shadow Claw, which is fantastic. Who is Lunala? Not even on this list. Is it a higher level Pokemon? Is it a new Pokemon? Why is it not even coming up? Why is this Pokemon not even coming up in PvP Poke yet? I'm guessing this Pokemon is just so badly ranked or not in the game yet. But it gets Shadow Claw, so we'll have to check it out when it comes out. Skeldurge now gets Hex. You know, when you have one... I don't know why you'd want to use Hex on Skeldurge. I will do actually an analysis. I'll have a video coming out tomorrow now for the next couple days, doing like the analysis of what happens when this Pokemon gets this move, what happens when this Pokemon gets this move. So this is just my initial thoughts just to get this video out, and then we'll look through like the in-depth analysis of these tomorrow. Beedrill, Poison Sting. Beedrill with Poison Sting is interesting because Beedrill is pretty spammy, but only has the Poison Jab, and it has two nice-ish moves in X Scissor and Drill Run. So now to get like a very, very fast charging fast move that you can spam Drill Runs in X Scissor and having that bug poison typing, I think is going to be kind of interesting. So again, I'll run that. Nidoqueen with Poison Sting. Again, they nerfed Poison Fang already, so I don't know. Or no, wait, they nerfed Poison Jab. So like Nidoqueen, the strength with Nidoqueen in the past was you were able to Poison Fang, Poison Jab a ton of damage, Poison Fang to lower their defense, and then just overpower with that combo there. But getting Poison Sting, I don't know how great Nidoqueen will do with that. But Nidoking and Arbok and Tentacruel are kind of interesting ones. So they're basically all these Poison Jab users seem to be getting, except for maybe Toxapex, a lot of these seem to be getting Poison Sting. So Nidoqueen down here, Nidoking, which is probably even worse because it's got worse, and Tentacruel with a Poison Sting. You know, it's got Tentacruel. Tentacruel is an interesting one because Tentacruel actually has good sort of bulk. 110, 139, 132 in the Great League. So you could have a Poison Sting where you can then charge pretty quick to a Skull, which does 100 damage, and then maybe you go to like Blizzard here or Sludge Wave for coverage. I think Tentacruel is going to have kind of some play here. So I will look at that. Toxicroak with Poison Sting, same thing. If you want to maybe get a faster charger to get some punches, could be interesting. There's lots of Poison Sting users. We'll check those out in a minute here. In a minute, I mean like probably tomorrow. Celio gets Surf. That's kind of interesting. Celio's kind of, I guess with the Body Slam nerf, it doesn't make it as relevant. This will increase this Pokemon for sure, but probably not anything that needs to be relevant. And now this buffed Metal Sound is now going on Galarian Meowth. The Aeron group here. Delsme, Berserker, Varoom. So a lot of Pokemon getting Metal Sound, which again, this turns into a like a really good fast move. But Berserker already has Shadow Claw, which is probably a better move anyway, so I don't think it matters there too much. River Room, I don't know about the stat product of this thing, so yeah. 16, a very glass cannon-y. Glass cannon with some nukes, maybe. Gunk shot, overheat nukes could be kind of fun, but I don't know if it's going to have a lot of play. Palmet. I said it in the when this Pokemon got a community day. I said this Pokemon does not need a Brick Break charge move. It needs a Thunder Shock, double nuke, close combat wild charge. This is exactly how this Pokemon needs to play. So Palmet, this is a huge improvement because this is what this Pokemon needed. It needed a quick, fast move in Thunder Shock that you can double nuke in close combat and wild charge. So you won't even need Brick Break. Maybe it'll be okay for a bait, but I would just run Thunder Shock, double nuke, close combat, wild charge. Would be very, very fun with this Pokemon. Lickitung learns Wrap. You know, Body Slam got nerfed, so maybe you want that. Maybe you want that Wrap to lower your opponent's defense and then lick down. Maybe it has potential there. Keep the ghosts away. Melodic. So a lot of Pokemon. The Galarian birds learn Fly. That would be interesting for Moltres only. Giving Moltres a better move as opposed... Well, Brave Bird's obviously a great move, but having Fly that you can either bait the Fly, go Fly and Brave Bird combo, could be interesting for Galarian Moltres. And then Metagross with Fairy Cutter and stuff like that. So, you know what? I wasn't expecting a ton of move updates because the Play Pokemon Championship is in August. So they can't make a ton. I think there's enough here. I think Bugs will be on the rise. I think Steels will be on the rise. And maybe with this Ember, because Bugs and Steel is on the rise, Fire will be on the rise. But unfortunately, 2 out of those 3 are weak to ground. And this is already a rare ground dominating meta, right? So Steel and Fire are weak to ground. Although Bug resists ground, I can see Bug coming up huge. Between the Bug Bite buff, the Fairy Cutter buff, and giving Poison Sting to like Beedrill and stuff, I can see Bug really, really rising to the top here in this meta, especially that Bug resists ground, does super effective against Psychic. I think we'll have a lot of play. But we'll do a bunch of videos today, which is fantastic. I'm so happy. Thank you. Like, you guys don't know how happy I am because I was trying, like, how do I bring my computer? Like, I got to bring my work computer to Toronto. I can't bring my other computer to Toronto. I got to film off my phone. I got to do that. But now I can just pump out like 3 videos today, have those ready over the next couple days, and push forward the Great League teams that I was going to do anyways. So just wanted to get this out here. So let me know your thoughts, initial thoughts. Stay tuned for lots of videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.